Graham. Coach, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
All right, we got first year TSU women's coach Ty Evans. So welcome to the OVC.
Thank you.
We'll start off with some general questions here in a second. Media who are on, if you have a question, just let me know down here in the chat and we'll call on you. But Coach, let's just start first. Just your general thoughts on this this season that's probably going to be unlike any other.
I'm excited. I mean, I'm a first-time head coach. I understand we're in the middle of a pandemic, but hey, we still get an opportunity to play basketball. So I'm excited. I can't wait.
If you have a question, again, let me know in the chat. With this year not being normal, is there a way to keep your players like in a routine or as close to as normal as possible, and something you're trying to do?
It's tough. It's tough because just, with the pandemic, everything is so fluid. It changes daily. So the minute you get into a routine, the next day, it may change completely. So the one thing that, we try to communicate to our players is that, you just have to be flexible. You have to be open-minded. You have to be flexible, and you can't worry about things that you can't control.
And do you have just general impressions on the OVC?
Oh, it's a tough basketball league. Hey, man, I'm a basketball junkie. I've been following the OVC for a long time. I mean, Coach McMillan down at Tennessee Martin's done a phenomenal job. Coach Bart over at Belmont's done a phenomenal job. Rika has built the SEMO program, along with a lot of the other coaches, so it's a tough basketball league. One of the best basketball leagues in the country. To me, I think it's extremely underrated. Great basketball coaches. So it's a wonderful, wonderful opportunity for us, to get in the mix with a lot of great coaches and a lot of great players.
And then in your first, you entered the league, and it's your first year, and we have 10 or 11 players who are returning all OVC selections, and some of the top players that from last year are returning. So can you speak to, you said underrated, just maybe some of the depth and this league may have, and maybe it's not one or two teams, it may be like 5 or 6. So you're trying to get your team up to that middle and above.
I mean, well, we're playing to win. I'm just going to be honest with you. I know you guys picked us 12th, but we don't care. We come to practice every single day with Beats by Dre headphones on. We don't listen to it. So we're playing to win, and there's a reason why I came here. I think it's a great opportunity. I think we got potential. Obviously, we have work to do, but we're looking forward to it. I think I got 2 of the better players in the league right here. They didn't get noticed, but I think Jaden Wrightsell, a tremendous basketball player. She's a tremendous competitor, and she's paying attention. Taylor Roberts, she's paying attention. So, there's a lot of great players in this league, but I'm not going to discount my own as well.
We'll start our media questions here first. And CJ, if you want to get us going.
Coach Evans, first, welcome to TSU, and it's good. Nice to meet you for the first time.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
No problem. I kind of wish it was, in person, but, we got to do what we got to do, so.
You got to make adjustments.
Oh, yeah. What would you say your philosophy is on both sides of the ball? What would you say that you like your teams to be able to do?
Oh, that's easy. Relentlessness. That's one of my favorite words. We want to be disruptive. We want to be relentless. We want to play with a chip on our shoulder. I tell our players all the time, when that game clock is off, when it goes off, when there's 0-0-0, that other team should be walking off the court. The other coach should be walking off the court saying to themselves, oh, we never have to play that team again, win or lose. And that's the mentality that we're trying to instill, and that's the culture that we're trying to implement.
And to quick follow up, if you were able to break down stuff that you like to do offensively, if you like to do motion based, if you like to go like man to man, if you like to zone it up on defense, what would you say that your bread and butter would be?
A hybrid of all that. A hybrid of all that, to be honest. I think defensively, what we try to do is we try to put teams in a situation where they have to make basketball decisions for 40 minutes to beat you. Offensively, we coach from that same mentality. We teach concepts over plays. We teach concepts over patterns. We may have a foundation, but from a fundamental standpoint, we think it's important that we're able to pass, catch, shoot, dribble with both hands, being able to read certain things. And we we emphasize repetition a lot so that you can become instinctive in playing out of those actions.
We're going
All
next.
right.
Oh, go ahead, CJ. You got another one?
Oh no, I'm good.
Okay. We go next to Harry Schroeder. Harry, your question.
Hey, Ty, you don't remember me. I announced the games at SLU when you were there with Jill Pizzotti. And I
What's
just,
up, Harry? I remember you. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Hey,
Good.
I just wonder about your experience with Jill there. The Billikens, or as we called them back in the day, the Jillikens, they were near the bottom of the league, grew into the middle, and ended up playing in the NIT one of Jill's final years there. That kind of journey, are you able to bring that forward with you to TSU?
Absolutely. I mean, that's pretty much the story of my whole coaching career. You know, we like it hard. We like to get it out the mud. That's okay. I want that challenge, you know, and our players, they want it too. You know, that's the reason why I'm here. You know, I knew what I was getting myself involved with. And just like you said, you know, being at SLU, when I first got to SLU, we were at the bottom of the league. And like you said, eventually, you know, we made it to the NIT, the WNIT. That's great. I think the journey itself is almost more fun than the actual destination. It's just fun climbing. It's fun working. It's fun putting in the work every single day. It's fun proving people wrong. I mean, that's a part of my DNA. I wouldn't want it any other way.
But I remember that season, all season long, there was this is the first time we ever beat this team. It's the first time we ever beat that team on the road, those kinds of things. And so can you take those little mile markers along the way to encourage your ladies?
Absolutely. I mean, you never forget your first, right? But I think the key, though, at the end of the day, is you want to be able to sustain that, you know, and once you start sustaining that, then I think you become more of a program that other people want to emulate. I think that's the most important thing.
Well, listen, we're going to be paying attention to your team. I expect great things. Thanks for the time.
I appreciate you, Eric.
Got a follow-up from CJ. Go ahead, CJ.
All right, so coach, you come into a program and a roster that it hasn't been easy as of late. When you look at who you have, how confident are you that you can make some noise with the team and with leaders like Taylor Roberts, who's coming back, and Jaden Wrightsell, who's two who are very, 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 very good at what they do?
I agree. I think I'm blessed to have not only Taylor and Jaden, but also 3 other seniors. You know, we returned 5 seniors, and 5 seniors that are actually guards. I don't know too many bad teams with good guards. If you have good guards, you give yourself a chance. So I feel extremely confident. Our players feel extremely confident. So we're just looking forward to it. And what we're focusing on right now is we're working on just trying to get better every single day. You know, it's been tough. I'm gonna be completely honest, because we're installing a totally different style of play. It's totally new. You know, they haven't played like this before. And the things that I'm expecting from them, it's different, you know, but I commend them because they've been giving me, you know, focus, concentration, effort. You know, it hasn't been every single day, but it's getting more and more consistent. And I think the more consistent we can become, the better we'll be 2 or 3 months from now.
And a quick follow-up, in my experience, when I talk to coaches, I always hear coaches say that if you're gonna mess up full speed, and we'll go ahead and correct that. You said there's been a bit of a learning curve in regards to that. Have you had to balance being patient with the expectation that you normally have?
I don't lower my expectation, but what I'm working on is my patience. You know, and sometimes I'll be honest, sometimes it's challenging. You know, after every practice, you know, I give myself a 15-minute window where I kind of just sit and think about practice and think about things that I could have done better. Because at the end of the day, it all starts with me. You know, I set the tone. I'm holding myself accountable. And if we have a bad practice, that's on me. It's probably my fault. The practice plan wasn't good. You know, it's not necessarily the players, you know, so I just have to continue to do a better job myself. And I think once I continue to get better as a coach, they'll become better as players. But, you know, like I said before, with us, it's a process. It's a day-by-day thing. And we really, truly look at it that way. But I do agree with your original statement, though. I want to making mistakes 100 miles an hour and we'll fix it. You are absolutely right. Because what I've noticed a lot of times, not just with this basketball team, just in my career, there are a lot of coaches that are control freaks. I'm going to be completely honest. So what happens is you have players that are playing, but they're constantly looking over at the sidelines as opposed to playing the game. I give our players a tremendous amount of freedom, but with freedom comes structure. You have to understand the foundation. You have to have a mastery of the fundamentals. And once you do that, that's where the freedom ultimately comes from. But I want them to be confident in making mistakes. We should try to make 3 to 5 mistakes more a day. That way we can fix them and keep moving. But you're right. I want them to make those mistakes going 100 miles an hour, not 50.
We'll go next to Logan. Logan, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, how you doing? Logan Hanson with BVM Sports. How are you doing?
Hey, what's up, Logan? How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. Thanks for asking. Obviously, you come in here, you're talking a little bit about that underdog mentality you guys have. Your ranking in the OVC this year right now. How has the team kind of been hearing that in their corner, and how have they been adjusting to kind of that underdog mentality you're giving them?
They have no choice because they hear it all the time. I remind them, sometimes they act like they don't hear the noise, but I always laugh when you hear athletes or coaches and they do interviews and the media person will ask them what, such and such said this. Well, no, I didn't even notice. You're lying. You heard it. Whether or not you choose to admit it, but you heard it, So we don't pretend around here. We're extremely transparent. It's no secret. They picked us 12 out of 12. I told them that. I don't care about the preseason rankings because they don't mean anything. It's just like potential. It just means you haven't done anything yet. It's up to us to go out and perform every single day. Based on our record last year, I can see why people would pick us, well, maybe not 12 out of 12, but maybe 11 out of 12. And like I told my players, I was honest with them. I said, look, we got 5 seniors back. Never in the history of my coaching career have I heard of a team who returned 5 seniors, basically guards, who were picked last in the league that they finished second to last the year before. So that just shows you what people think about you. But what's most important is how we feel about each other in this room. And that's the mentality that we have.
Go back to CJ.
So how do you think they reacted? Do you feel like that they're ready to block out the noise in regards to all that? Do you feel like there's a hunger with this team?
They're hungry, but they're not starving. I'm starving. We got to get them to that mode. They're hungry, but they're not starving. See, the difference between hungry and starving is when you're hungry, you eat, and then you get full, and then you don't eat anymore. But when you're starving, you eat, you get full, you continue to eat, and then you stuff food in your pockets, your socks, because you don't know when you're going to eat again. That's the difference. We don't have that mentality yet, but we're working on it.
If anybody else has one, let me know down the chat. Coach, has there been anything that surprised you for the positive since you took over? Because obviously when you took over in the pandemic and everything, it's been untraditional, but something you went in thinking one way and it's turned out the other.
Well, my mindset is a little bit different. I don't look at it as challenges. I look at it as opportunities. And anytime you're faced with an opportunity, if you have a growth mindset, it can put you in a position to be better, moving forward. So that's how I look at it. I don't look at it as, the fact that I got the job, quote unquote, late. I mean, what is that? That's a subjective term. You know what I mean? I just looked at it as, okay, you only have these many weeks to get them prepared. What you gonna do, Coach Ty? Can you get it done, Coach Ty? That's an opportunity for me to become a better coach. So I don't look at it as a challenge at all. I mean, the pandemic, it is what it is. We can't change it. We can't control it. So why spend time worrying about it?
Anybody else? Questions? We got time for 1 or 2 more for Coach. All right, Coach. Thanks for your time this afternoon, and best of luck to you and your team.
Thanks. Appreciate you guys.
No problem. Good luck, Coach.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
If everybody will hold on, we're going to have Jaden Wrightsell join us in just 1 second. So she'll be sitting down and hearing your questions. So if you have one, again, use the chat down there and let me know. And we'll start off with some general questions for her, and then go from there.
J-Dub, make sure you tell them about that whooping you took this morning.
Your back hurt.
That's it. Listen, J-Dub, see if she can talk.
Am I off center?
There you go. I think that's it.
Where's the camera?
It's on the side, so just look at this way.
Okay.
Jaden, can you hear us okay?
Yes, I can hear you all.
All right, we're going to start off with a few questions, and then the media are going to put their questions in, and we'll get to them in a second. I just start everybody off with this. Personally, what are you most excited about this upcoming season?
What I'm most excited about this season is just getting the feel with this new team and a new coach. I absolutely love our energy, and it's never a dull moment. So I'm more excited to play together with my team and let it all melt together.
And then the follow up on that, what's been the best part of your coach? What do you like about him so far?
He's real. He just keeps it real, 110% of the time, especially to me. So, I mean, I could take it, and most of the girls are getting adjusted to it. So I just like that he keeps it real and keeps it 110 with us every single day.
I'm sure you're over there listening. He said the word relentless. So when I say that to you, what do you say?
I say hungry as well. I mean, it's relentless pursuit, like just being hungry about it. He's starving and we getting on his level, but it's a relentless process as well.
And how have those practices been so far? That he was alluding at this morning or whatever.
Oh, the practices are great. We don't ever waste time, and everything is leading into the next thing, which leads into basically 5-on-5 live game. So I like the way we build up, starting from the beginning to end of practice, and that's every day. It's a new drill that builds up to what we're actually supposed to be doing and how to win a game.
We're going to go to some questions here that the media have submitted. Again, if you have one, just put in the chat and I'll call on you. CJ, you're up first.
How we doing, Jaden?
Good. How are you?
It's a good day. All right. So he talked about his expectations on the floor. When you look at it, do you think that your role is going to change on the floor with Ty as the coach?
No, I don't think it's going to change at all. He's giving me the freelance, and literally I'm like his little pet. Everything he tells me to do, I do it, but I do it to the best of my ability. And he let me have free reign. So I listen to everything he says. He doesn't lead me in the wrong direction at all.
I've asked a lot of the players just about the family atmosphere around your teams. What's that like with your teammates, and how's it been when you all were physically apart from each other, but you were still able to help each other out mentally and connect, even though you were apart?
It's great. Like, it was never a disconnect. It might have disconnected a little bit, but we always got back together. And his big thing is connection. That was his word today for practice. And I mean, we all stayed connected throughout this whole pandemic. Just getting new girls and actually returners to be more vocal and know each other better. It's a process, but it's getting there. And I like our family atmosphere. We always check on each other. Even if no one is feeling good or if someone is out of the loop, we always know how and when to approach the situation. So it's definitely a good family atmosphere for me.
Let's go to Logan. Logan, your question.
Hey, Jaden, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. Thank you for asking. You kind of mentioned this a little bit earlier, but you said that the players are all hungry while Coach Ty is starving, and you're hoping to get there. What does that entail to get to that level of hunger that your coach is showing compared to you guys just being a little bit hungry? What do you need to show him to show that you're starving?
His energy every day. His energy stays on 20. We are at 19. We almost there, but it's getting there. And I feel like with him constantly bringing that energy, we have no other choice but to follow him. So that's what I mean when I say it's not a big drop off, but of course we have our days, so it's getting there, and he knows to stay on us, and that's our best bet of getting to his level of starving.
Thank you.
Then CJ with a follow-up.
So back in March, when Rudy Gobert, the Utah Jazz, when he tested positive, where were you when you found out about that? Because we all know that once that happened, it really set in motion from each level all the way down across the country that everything was going to be shutting down. Where were you when you heard about that? And given some of the uncertainty at that time around the team and the program, what was your reaction to it?
I believe I was on campus around that time in March, and they were just getting ready to tell us to evacuate to go back home. It was a sad situation, but it didn't leave us disconnected. Everybody stayed connected team-wise. We always had Zoom calls. Even we had to check out before we left. Like, we all stayed connected, and it wasn't very, very hard for us to, fall apart, and we stayed together during that time. And we also took it seriously because we know this pandemic is uncertain and anyone can catch it. And we just wanted to stay safe and, most importantly, stay connected.
Anybody else? Other questions for Jaden?
Quick follow-up. When you look at what Coach Ty's expectations for the team, where do you think that this team's biggest improvement is going to come in order to make that jump to that next level?
I would say just playing. All his plays are just playing, and we just have to get out of our jitters and our anxieties and all of that and just play. All of it leads up to one another. It's a very easy transition, and I feel like once we get the hang of it and not overthink everything, we will be just fine.
Anybody else? Any other questions? I got one more and then we'll wrap it up for you. How do you feel, or what areas do you feel maybe you've personally improved the most in since last season?
I would say I've improved more on being on the perimeter. I know I was a lot of back to the basket last year, and being on the perimeter is where I'm getting most comfortable at and being more versatile.
Well, we appreciate you taking a little bit of time this afternoon to join us. Best of luck to you and your teammates this season.
Thank you.